guys, so today I want to share another story with you. Today I want to talk about, is Gizelle and Pastor Jamal Bryant ruining New Birth Church, plus Eva Marcille and Kenya Moore News. Okay guys, so if you just watched my previous video, you'll know that one of my subscribers just broke the news that one of the women on 90 Day Fiancé was being catfished. She did it herself. She didn't wait for it to come out in the media. She didn't wait for some blogger to find it out. She did it herself and sent me the information. And boy, was she right on the money. I'm loving the fact that my subscribers, they're giving me the tea. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. They send me articles. They tell me little bits and pieces of things that they've seen. Well, I just came across another subscriber that just sent me this Instagram posting about Gizelle and Pastor Jamal Bryant from the Real Housewives of Potomac. And it's really, really interesting and food for thought, if nothing else. So I'm going to go ahead and read this Instagram posting from the black socialites that she sent me. I mean, it's pretty good. And then we're going to talk about it. Basically, what she's saying is that those two are ruining the reputation of the church. Okay, so let's get into the details and what it is exactly what this article is saying. It says, it's no secret that New Birth has had his share of trials over the years. The scandals of their former pastor, the late Bishop Eddie Long, and just in case you've been under a rock and you don't know who Bishop Eddie Long was, he was actually having affairs with young men in the church while he was running the church at the same time. It was a huge scandal. To recently going under the leadership of the newest pastor, Jamal Bryant. Everyone has heard the stories about his indiscretions, especially since his former wife, Gizelle Bryant, spoke about his cheating ways on the first season of The Real Housewives of Potomac. Since their divorce, Gizelle has dated several men on the hit show. She's talking about Real Housewives of Potomac. And Jamal has had a very public relationship with R&B singer Tweet. At the end of season 4, we've learned from Gizelle that the two had reconciled and that they were giving their relationship another chance. With season 5 already filmed and expected to air this spring, people have begun to speculate if their relationship is real or just for the cameras, especially since it was rumored that Jamal was actually dating basketball star Malaysia Pargo. The bigger question is, what kind of an impact does these rumors and television cameras have on the church? I spoke exclusively with one of the church longtime members, and they are concerned. And she put a big, huge exclamation point at the end. The member, who will remain anonymous, said that they feel that the relationship is a total distraction, and she put that in all caps. She goes on, I pray every single day that that does not affect our church. We have been through enough already. This is deep. This is deep. We got to talk about this. We got to talk about it, okay? Now, first of all, what? Malaysia Pargo? Malaysia too? What? Okay, at first we heard about Phaedra, and then we heard about Tweet, and now she's going to throw in another name. I did not know about Malaysia. I mean, what is he going around? Just cruising reality TV shows? I mean, whoa, this is crazy. This is crazy. This article has a huge point, okay? And we got to get deep with it. We do. We got to get deep with it because it's a true question, okay? Now, if your pastor was a hoe, okay, or had a roaming eye, or was a dog, whatever you want to call it. Now, I'm not saying Pastor Jamal is. I'm saying if your pastor was, would that affect you into not wanting to be at that church anymore? I mean, does it change his message? He still can have a good message and then be some kind of dog or creep in his personal life. That really, for me, doesn't mesh. I mean, people have personal lives. Even though he's a pastor, he's not perfect. But what draws the line for me would be when the cameras entered. Okay, so here my pastor is on television. Now, I'm not saying he is one, but let's say I had a pastor on television. I don't, by the way, and I had a pastor. He's on television every week being a hoe. Would that affect me? It would, to a certain extent. For me, is when the cameras come in is where I draw the line. Because I really do have a rule in my house, which is a no hoe for pastor and no hood rats for first ladies. Now, I'm not saying Pastor Jamal is a hoe. I'm just saying for any pastor, if I get hoe vibes or, just funny feelings, I'm out. But that's just me. Even for being a first lady. If my first lady was on television, and I'm not saying that Gizelle did this, acting like some kind of hood rat, fist fighting and acting a fool and cussing people out, pulling people's weaves out the way that you have to be on reality TV, would I look at her the same? Not really. I'm just saying. But Gizelle has not gotten in a fist fight with anyone. But she does hang out with that no good Candace. It could affect some people in the same kind of way. I'm just saying. This is real conversation we're having here. For me personally, I don't know if I could take it. But I'm not everybody. For me, I don't know if I could take it. And for the people that feel like me and is put in that situation, I feel sorry for them at that church. Your pastor's on reality TV, cutting up and acting a fool, dating this one and that one, and his wife is pulling out people's wigs. I don't know about that. I just feel like, for me, it does not change his message. He could still be a brilliant speaker. He could still be smart and can guide you out of trouble. But for me, it just does something to me. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I'm a stickler, I don't know. But for me, I can't. My first lady then ripped off Monique's wig. For me, I'm just talking about myself. Reality TV and my first lady and my pastor does not mix. Me personally. But let's say it did. Let's just say that happened. I don't know if I could take it. For me personally. But does it change his message? No. Does it make him a worse speaker? No. Can you still not get the essence and the message of what he's trying to say? No. For some people, maybe not. But for me, no, because then, I'll start judging you. I really would. You start talking about how, you're supposed to be a good man, and I'll be like, you wasn't saying that last night, when you was with so-and-so. It makes me judge them. I'm sorry, I'm human. I'm admitting my flaws here, people. I'm admitting it. For me, I don't think so. Like, huh, what? No. That's why, and that's a mega church that he's in charge of. If you haven't heard of New Birth, it's a mega church. I just don't see how this is going to work out. You're on reality TV and preaching on Sunday. But I'm not saying it can't work. I'm just saying for me, because I'm a judgmental person, I will sum you up in 5 minutes. You'll be up there, preaching the good word, and I'll be like, she knows she was wrong for hitting Monique. That's just how my mind works. But, I'm not perfect, and I am a sinner. I'm a sinner. I'm far from perfect. That's just me. Maybe some other people could overlook it. But that's why I had to do this article. This conversation needs to be had. Do you think that Gizelle and Pastor Jamal can ruin that church over there? My answer is, yeah. That's just me, though. I mean, we need to talk about it. And maybe you guys can open up my mind and be like, Sharrell, stop being so closed-minded. It doesn't change what he has to say and how he preaches. That's true. But for me, you guys got, in the comment section, you got to pull me out of my narrow-mindedness and tell me something that would kind of make me look at them different. But, because right now, no, that's just for me. But, like I say in every video, we all have our different opinions, and that's mine. And I don't want my pastor to be on reality TV, especially ratchet reality TV, which the Real Housewives of Potomac is turning into. It is what it is. We all heard the rumors. Candace and Monique going at it, and then Gizelle is team Candace, the ratchet one. Like, that's another thing. I'm going to be thinking like your crew is ratchet, Gizelle. How you going to be my first lady and y'all over there pulling out wigs and suing people? I don't know about that, but we'll talk about that later in the comments section. Now let's move on to Kenya and Eva. So last night on Watch What Happens Live, Eva Marcille was on there, and a fan called in from Team Twirl. He was Team Twirl, okay? He was being disrespectful, calling Nene the old G, O-L-D, not O-G, the old G. But he ultimately asked Eva what she thought it was going to take for Kenya and Nene to become friends again, to get along. And this is what Eva said. She was just straight up with him. She says, I have reconciled with the fact that some people just don't get along. And these two, they just don't get along. And I'm okay with that, and so is Kenya. Then she goes on, she says, but they could be respectful. Some friendships you can mend, and then there's some when the season's over, it's over. So I don't think they'll reconcile anytime soon. So for those of you that have been under a rock and think that this was all for show, it's not for show. These two really hate each other. And it sounds like they're not going to even try to be friends anymore. So we're going to have to get used to this season after season. They're going to come in with mad hatred. I say for at least 2 or 3 more years. I mean, what do you think? Because this last season, it got too raw. It got too raw, too emotional. So people can stop going around saying, well, I'm mostly talking to myself, that, maybe after time, these two will, make amends. Sounds like it's not going to happen. And even worse, everybody's okay with it not going to happen. Eva said, I'm fine with it. Kenya's fine with it. So it is what it is. And you know what that's going to mean? More arguing. I mean, at least it's built-in drama. Because, it sounds like Nene isn't going anywhere. So at least the Real Housewives of Atlanta will not be boring. So that's all the housewife news I have for you today. So what I want to know in my comment section is, who thinks that Pastor Jamal and Gizelle's actions could possibly ruin that church's reputation if they haven't done it already? And number 2, who is okay with Kenya and Nene never being friends, not a single day in life? Or who thinks this is crazy, these two have to make up? Also, if you like this video, don't forget to click that like button. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and do that. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.